All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're here to do a live stream for The Walking Dead Season 9 finale. Episode 16, The Storm. So, right now nobody's in the room, so I'm adjusting my color and stuff, but, wow. I was all geared up to, I don't know, see here if anybody gets in here, but anyway, for people that watch this later on, I might as well talk about a couple of things before we talk about this finale. I've been working on putting my like and subscribe and hitting bell notification stuff to the beginning of the videos, and I don't know if anybody thinks that's a good idea. To get that out of the way first or after? Do you think more people subscribe to your channel when they, or like your videos when they hear, you ask for the like early? I don't know. I'd just like some feedback on that from anybody that's that watches. There's one person in the chat or in the room now, and they're out. Well, let's see. What else? I am thinking about doing another series about movies that I've never seen. Kind of like what Tamara Chambers does for her channel, where she watches movies that she's never seen, except she hasn't seen a lot. Me, on the other hand, there's a lot of I've seen a lot. But there's also a big chunk of movies that I've never seen before, and I was wondering if people would be interested in watching reviews of movies that I've never seen, movies like Casablanca, things like that. But anyway, I got there's a couple of you here now, so we might as well start talking about this finale, which was, wow, that wasn't a finale. That was not a finale. That was an episode 4 or 5. Or a 12 or 13. That was like the weakest finale I think they've ever had. I don't know if they just thought that what they did in the penultimate episode was just too much and that they needed to just have a simple episode to like let everybody relax. But the thing is, it's The Walking Dead. You can never have a relaxing episode. There always has to be some tension. Otherwise, what the hell? And in a finale where you just have a bunch of people walking through the snow and you keep waiting for something to happen because they do build tension and it just doesn't pay off. You've got some zombies in the snow and so they stab and it's fine. There is a claustrophobic element to this, but I mean, other than that, other than atmosphere and music, what was there? And I don't care that nobody died. That's fine. If they thought the body count was too high, and we needed an extra episode. But now this is what people are going to be thinking about all the way through till the next year, unless they come up with some other reason for to create drama during the break. Who's going to quit the show this time? I mean, we already know that Denai Guerrero is leaving for most of next season. Like she's got like only a few episodes and she's going to be gone too. So I don't know. Surprised nothing crazy happened. Yeah, well, I kept waiting. Thank you for saying that. I mean, nothing crazy happened. I don't even know, like, what was with the whipping on her arm? And why was it nice there? Like, where did they go? Like, did they just take a trip down to like Florida or something? Because the Whisperers seem to be fine. There's no snow there. So apparently the storm front, they walked away from it. So they wouldn't even know that they were out there. So they were worried about nothing. All they have is, but I still don't understand the whole whipping her arm thing. And then that's it. Like we travel back to Judith and talking to Ezekiel and the radio. What was that? I couldn't hear anything. I just heard like some scratchy voice, but nothing clear. Yeah, there was no there was tension that they tried to start up, but it never went anywhere. Fine, you know, but this is a filler episode. This is an episode that's meant to, like, you know, make your characters, you know, kind of come together and rise up for the next challenge, but instead it's just dead on arrival, man. Who gave a shit about this? I mean, they thought, you know, some people thought that the spike on the head was underwhelming. This is like really underwhelming. And after, like I said before, this is my least favorite season. This is my least favorite season. I've been checked out for probably since the first episode, after the first episode of coming back from the break. Pretty much, yeah, see, it's a fine episode to put in the middle of a season. Have something like this to build character stuff. It's definitely an episode that fits in there because, you know, with the Negan stuff and with Carol, you know, trying to help Lydia, if you care, because I don't care about Lydia, you know, and people, I don't care that Carol cares. I just don't. It's the same thing with Henry last week. I don't care that Henry died. Was it Georgie from Commonwealth on the radio? See, maybe, but I just couldn't tell. It was and then just done and over and gone. And I'm not gonna like go, you know, check to see what it said. I don't know. Yeah, they could be at Commonwealth. I mean, if that's where, you know, Maggie and all them are, I doubt it though. Yeah, it's what there's barely anything to recap. I mean, I thought, you know, Negan stuff was good because at least it was funny. At least it was him being Negan, you know, making fun of the quadrangle that's going on. Come on, who wouldn't talk about that? You know, you don't need Negan to talk about this. And, you know, the reason I put this up here as my wallpaper is, you know, for this is because, can you imagine what this episode would be like with this group of characters? With them trudging through the snow, and how much you care about what happens instead of just, I could have cared less. I wanted some people to die in the snow because at least then it wouldn't have been as boring. You put this group of people in this episode and you've got an incredible episode. You've got an amazing episode. Unfortunately, we've dwindled down to almost nothing. And it's another one of those, be careful what you wish for, because everybody's favorites, Carol and Daryl, are basically your last people standing from, you know, from Atlanta. And what people always wanted, don't kill Carol, don't kill Daryl. And we've actually got it. And Morgan's with Fear the Walking Dead people, RLP, if that's how I'm saying your name right. So this is like the win-win scenario that everybody wanted. Don't kill Carol, don't kill Daryl. Now that we've got it, I still hate it. Like, it's one of those, like, the story just can't carry without some of these other characters. And you know, I did like the sets. I did like the way that this episode looked. I don't want to get completely down on this. I mean, the acting is good. The set design was good. The zombies were good. All the special effects was great. You know, this is a perfectly passable episode 4 or 5 or an episode 12 or 13. This isn't a mid-season finale, and this isn't a finale episode. This is a joke. Like, this is just a boring joke. And I made sure that I was geared up and ready to pay attention and make sure I hit all the details and everything else. But there's nothing to remember here except they stayed together and nobody else died. Judith almost died getting dog, but Negan helped her and starts to prove himself. So I'm sure next season we're going to see a much more free Negan, which is fine. But until we understand, like, who's on the radio, which for the life of me, I'm sorry, I could not tell what that was. They should have given us at least a sentence of somebody that are a completely recognizable voice on there. Even if it was just Morgan or Maggie. Even if it wasn't Rick, at least make it clear what to hear on there. There's nothing clear on here at all. And it's such a pain in the ass that that's the way they're going to leave it for a year. Or like, well, I'm sorry, not a year, to like September or October, you know? And then they're not even doing Talking Dead immediately after the episode. They're not even doing it. They're giving you the premiere, the season 1, episode 1 of Killing Eve, because Killing Eve season 2 comes out next week. So all the people that want to hear them explain why they've chosen to do an episode this boring have to wait an extra hour to watch Talking Dead and have them explain to you why this episode was so boring. Maybe they put Killing Eve on right after Talking Dead so people could rant and rave before they watch Talking Dead and maybe calm down before they start screaming at what the hell was that? I mean, I've been complaining that they never did a winter episode and they give me what I want and it still sucks. The story does, at least. You know, like I said, the sets and the and all that stuff was really great. When they couldn't see and know what the zombies are the whisperers or not, yeah, that's pretty cool. But then you got to do something with it. You got to put some whisperers there or something, and somebody at least kill a couple of red shirts. Something. I don't know, man. It was just lame. And even Jerry. Yeah, you know what? Maybe Negan should lead Alexandria. At this point, who cares? There's nobody left. They're running out of people on this show to run anything. So you might as well have a reformed Negan takeover. So like Negan and Judith are going to be like the last men standing at the end of this, maybe? I don't know. But it just doesn't. Like, I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised if all of a sudden some kind of manufactured drama comes up in the next couple of months about, more show shakeups. I would bet dollars to donuts that we're going to get some crazy story before Walking Dead comes back that's going to shake things up again. It's not going to be Rick level, like Rick leaving the show level, but crazy. But they're going to have to get people back on board because, man, you got to have lost some people with this. Like, not killing the wrong person, killing the wrong character, killing Glenn the way they killed Glenn. Yeah, they lost some viewers doing certain things like that. But also you can lose viewers by giving them nothing. And that's what was here, was nothing. Like, I don't even know what to say. We're supposed to feel sympathy for Lydia. And if you do feel sympathy for Lydia, fine. They're trying their best to get you to feel sympathy for Lydia. But I just don't care. And now especially, even though I am more than happy that Henry is not on this program any longer, having him around, having Lydia around without Henry makes about no sense whatsoever. Because they've proven on this show to not care about who's left to carry on the story. When you start dropping people like, you want to kill Enid, fine, then don't kill Tara. If you want to kill Tara, then don't kill Enid. They can't just keep dropping people like this, creating a quiet coup with the cast, kind of like Fear the Walking Dead did, where all of a sudden a whole bunch of the main cast of Fear the Walking Dead just up and gets killed one by one until there's almost no one left, and then Rick didn't die. Rick didn't die, okay? He was taken away to another place, and there will be movies about Rick Grimes coming out. Yeah, what to watch for 7 months? Well, you might as well watch Fear the Walking Dead. But like I said, they started getting rid of people on Fear the Walking Dead one after the other and quietly bringing in new characters. And now you go to Fear the Walking Dead and it's almost unrecognizable. It does look like they're trying to bring back some people. So you've got Victor and the daughter that was left. I can't remember her now. And now they're going after, and it looks like the one actor who keeps Daniel is going to be back. But the rest of the cast of Fear the Walking Dead is all new characters. And that's what I feel like was happening here. is everybody is just quietly leaving the show, bringing in all these new groups. What's happened so far, all of the show? I don't know. But, they're quietly bringing in a whole new cast. And everybody else is just, and by the time it's all over, maybe Daryl will still be around, maybe Carol. But with Michonne gone and Maggie gone, all you got left is Negan, and I don't know. I did not like this episode as a finale. This would have been a fine episode 4 or 5 or a 12 or 13 if you want to know how I feel about this episode. Boring. My thumbnail was me falling asleep. You haven't gotten to watch it. Well, you're not in it. You're not missing anything, Mr. Adrian. You're not missing anything. Yeah, they're going to eventually explain what happened, but either way, it's just underwhelming. I'm not going to care because he's not with the people he's meant to be. He's going to try, and he's going to, things are going to get in his way. Nobody died. Not one person died. A bunch of walkers died, but nobody died. And I've never been just, like, if you were underwhelmed by last week, then this one would have put you into a coma. And I really don't know what else to say about this episode because nobody's really, I've got only a few people in here at a time. But I said I was going to leave this, I was going to leave this show if it didn't improve. And I've been saying this for a while. Well, that's what the internet makes you believe. They don't kill Ezekiel last episode like he dies in the comics. And then people are saying, well, he could still die, beforehand. It's like, no. Yeah, last episode was like the finale. It should have just ended last episode. This wasn't needed. This would have even been a fine premiere. It really would have been a fine premiere. If this was season 10 premiere, I could get behind that because then it would be like this interesting way to kick off the show. For, after a few months, it's a storm coming. You know what I mean? Like the Heads was a perfect way to end the season. This is a way to kick off the season where you show that Kingdom is fallen and they got to get out of there and they got to get to Hilltop, and we don't know why they weren't prepared. We don't know why things kind of went to hell. Yeah, they did it wrong. Yep. They definitely did it wrong. They've been doing it wrong all year. Yeah, they don't really just say. They just say, "Oh, I should have seen it coming," or whatever. But they just say we can't stay here any longer. Obviously the weather turned. They don't have enough food, whatever, and now everybody has to bail. And I mean, it is a kind of impressive idea, but you'd think that if they were gonna Oregon Trail their asses all the way to Hilltop, something major would have happened. All we get was a little bit of character stuff. We get to see that Luke doesn't like Lydia because he's, blaming her for Enid getting killed, which it's true. And then it doesn't help that this character that, because of her, all these other characters died because they made the choice of keeping her. When she wants to kill herself, they stop her. They stop the character because, they don't, this has to mean something. But you know what? I think the Negan drama was way better. Yeah, more of Negan. If this episode would have just been about a whole episode about Negan redeeming himself, that would have been fine. I would have been fine with that. I mean, if I knew that this wasn't going to be a big episode, they could have put anything in here. They could have put any kind of episode in here. And then to just kind of throw the radio at the end was just like, come on. And not even be clear about what whose voice that was. Just another like big punch in the face. So the show, nobody wants to hear it, nobody wants to say it, but it is on its way out the door already. When people talk about, we could see another 5 years. I don't know. See, people want to say Angela Kang is better than Scott Gimple, but he had his good times and he had his bad times. And she's had a couple of good times and a couple of bad, and mostly bad to me. It's been Season 9 is a joke to me. And so I don't think it really Angela Kang could have done anything that would have satisfied me, but she definitely didn't help it. I can tell you that right now. But there's not really a see, people didn't like season 7, I feel, because uh, they don't like watching our group get taken down. And I thought season 8 was better, but it's still like nothing beats the finale of by the end of season 6 and maybe the premiere of season 7. But everything after that was kind of like a letdown for a lot of people. I thought it was okay, but 4, 5, and 6 are like the best seasons to me, and it had a chance to keep going and getting better, and it just kind of, I don't know, it's like it knew it hit that plateau. There was a lot of filler episodes for 7 and 8 because the comic book, the space it takes you to read All Out War, it would only take you like maybe an hour to read All Out War, if that. And so they've got to really expand on the fights in that. And that, what the hell are they going to plan to do with the Whisperer War? Because spoiler alert, the Whisperer War is really not that. She's going to use the Horde. And, like we've already done the Horde thing, man. We've already had a whole horde of zombies coming at Alexandria before. And so they do it again. All right, that's what happens in the book. But hey, in this, case, I wouldn't be surprised if, fucking aliens came down and changed the zombies into super zombies and, they grew as tall as trees and, had the brains of dolphins. I don't fucking know. Anything could happen on this show at this point. They've jumped the shark. There's no jumping, there's no getting back to it unless they completely restructure the show, which I think is what they're secretly doing. We are going to have a brand new cast eventually. We're going to just not even know that there's they're going to integrate this new cast so much that we won't even really recognize what's happening until it's already over. I did not see that last one. I think when Rick left, the show felt like the kingdom. Yeah. And I mean, I tried to keep going. I said I had videos saying I didn't know if I wanted to come back, but I was like, I've been watching it this long. I've got to keep going. It sucks when when you see a show that you really used to love just start to fall apart. And I think, they're just doing it. They've done it to themselves. Bad business practices. I mean, this lawsuit with Frank Darabont is still going on. I mean, if AMC was totally in the clear on that Frank Darabont case, wouldn't this have been over by now? You know what I mean? Like, they've been doing shady things, and the same thing I feel with like the Carl thing. I feel like that Carl situation, something just don't sit right with me on that. Like, they asked him to be there for 3 more years at least, and then they just changed the deal all of a sudden. There is more there than they are telling us, and it's not just because he wanted to go to school or whatever. And I'm convinced that the whole thing with Rick leaving was not just about seeing his family. I think a good reason, something that had to play a part in Andrew Lincoln leaving was how they handled Carl. I think that he saw this kid that he's been working with since he was a little boy become a man on the show, and they did him wrong, and he wanted out too. But Andrew Lincoln, then when they realized they were going to lose Rick for good, they must have dangled in front of him a deal, like a lot of money to be in those movies, to take a break, come back and star in movies where he wouldn't have to work as much. Why wouldn't he still stay as Rick? Why wouldn't he leave the door open to come back? So it just makes sense. Maggie, on the other hand, I don't know how Whiskey Cavalier is doing, but I reviewed the premiere of that, and that show was dog shit. So I don't know if it's still on the air or canceled or what, but I mean, if that show's a success for her, why should she come back? Why should Lauren Cohan come back? I wouldn't want to come back to this. And Denai Guerrero, like I've said, before they even announced, her leaving the show, I said, once Black Panther got big, man, she was not going to stick around much longer. She's going to be she's blowing up. She's on the freaking Avengers poster. So she's getting real recognizable stuff, and I guarantee you she's going to end up having one of her own like kick-ass movies where she's kicking people's asses. I guarantee it. You're going to see Danai Gurira in a movie where she is playing some kick-ass woman that like the likes of like Zoe Saldana and Colombiana. She's going to be big, and she's not going to need The Walking Dead. And it's just, it really... well, that's what I think anyway, man. It just makes sense. But you paid, they paid Norman Reedus, what, $20 million. So he's not going anywhere. So everybody that, always said that you killed Daryl, we riot. All you people can finally relax, because he's not going anywhere. Ever. He's going to regret that. I mean, he's going to be Daryl Dixon forever. Or the guy from Boondock Saints. One of the two. Either one is fine. And I guess for Norman, it really works out really well. I mean, he gets us 2 shows, $20 million, Who died and scared? Nobody died. Nobody died. Norman Reedus isn't leaving. They paid for his bike. They gave him $20 million. He's sticking around. So, that's just the way it goes. Now, Carol, whatever happens to Carol from here on out, yeah, it was lame. Whatever happens to Carol from here on out, I'm ready for Carol to go, because everybody else is leaving. If everybody else leaves and somehow this story gets better, I don't know, maybe it'll be fine, but I just don't know. Like, this group of people here, and I know we don't have everybody, but like I said earlier in the stream, if we had this group of people in this episode, it would have been an amazing episode. But instead, with what we've dwindled down to, all to this episode is just one of the weakest excuses for a season finale I've ever seen on already a season that I said is my least favorite. And the handling that AMC has done with this show in the past couple of years is just ridiculous. And they think that if they promise you guys just more content, movies, sideshows, web shows, games, all this stuff, as long as everybody just keeps swallowing it, as long as everybody just keeps accepting mediocrity, when the show could be way better than it is, they've got the source material sitting right in front of them every single day. And they choose to ignore it at every turn just about. When they didn't put Ezekiel's head on that spike, when they didn't put Rosita's head on that spike, that was a big time mistake. Because you have to have real stakes. People, the reason it sucked was, think about it, you lose a leader, somebody that was lovable and everybody loves King Ezekiel, and you lose him and you lose a leader, and then you have Rosita that gets killed and in the book, and you care about that because she was pregnant. It was like when the girl died that got stabbed up with Robb Stark, man. They killed the pregnant lady. That stuff meant something in the book. While killing Tara and Enid was just a bad decision in general, because you don't want to kill 2 strong female characters on a television show in a time where strong female characters are what is popular and what is needed. It's just, they keep making this whole trying to change what is expected. We're going to always take a right turn. If the book did this, let's do this now. It's like as soon as they did the thing where they didn't kill Negan, where they did the book ending where Rick slits his throat and they kept him alive, that was like basically the last time they did anything from the book that was right. Except for Alpha infiltrating the affair. Maybe, like I said, everybody seems to want to be dead on this show. So maybe everybody's just kind of sticking around, like the last people that got to clean up at the end of a party. You know what I mean? Somebody has to stick around and help the people who hosted the party clean up, and that's who we've got left here. Denai Guerrera's gonna slip out right there at the, like in the middle of the party, just kind of walk out the door and never come back. They'll keep waiting for Lauren Cohan to show up. What did Eugene do? Eugene didn't do anything. Nobody did anything here. Negan rescued Judith from getting killed out in the snow because she wanted to find the dog. And that's it. He saves her, and everybody's happy. And just like that, there we go. Just like that, it just goes downhill. And yep, and snow zombies. So we know that snow zombies are cool. Like, I like it. They move really slow. That's what we wanted. We get what we wanted, and it's still lame. And it is unfortunate, though. It's like the whole thing with King Ezekiel and Carol's relationship. That, like a lot of people that lose a kid, sometimes their relationship suffers. But I don't know if this really should have broken Carol and Ezekiel up. And I don't think it should have been something that drives Ezekiel to go pull Daryl aside like a couple of bros, like, hey man, can you just kind of back off my woman? Like, I need her. And it's like, what? Are you kidding me? Are we really having this conversation? Is this episode really going to this level of Ezekiel going, hey man, can you do that for me? Can you do, like, I was like, the character would never do this. Ezekiel wouldn't act like this. Even Daryl just looks at him and walks away, like almost like he's like, I'm not going to respond to that line of dialogue, and just walks away because it's stupid. I don't know. But that's all there is to say about this. I thought I was going to like talk about other things and like that, but there's nothing else to say about this. I want to appreciate everybody that watched it. I can't believe that this is how it ends. Yeah, it's renewed. It's coming back there. I think they're working on it right now. And it's freaking pathetic. I watched the trailer for Fear the Walking Dead, and you know what? I'm actually kind of excited to give that show another shot, because at least I stopped watching last season because of the tornado, like the zombies in the tornado. That's where I draw the fucking line. I said to myself that's it. I'm not doing a Sharknado kind of thing with zombies. I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, Dwight's going to be with Morgan, so who knows what's going on over there. There's a good cast over on Fear the Walking Dead. What's happening on Fear the Walking Dead isn't the cast anymore. It's the writing. It's the writing. It's the story and what they do each week that's been weak for that show. You've got Garrett Dillahunt. You've got Jenna Elfman. You've got the guy who plays Morgan. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name? Oh my God, that is terrible. I can't remember the guy who plays Morgan. And you still got, Victor, and you still got the daughter, and you've got Maggie Grace is on there. What is her name? Frankie or some shit. You've got the lady who was on Parks and Rec as the TV reporter on Pawnee Today. She's on the show now. I mean, at least that's an interesting cast. And if it's just going to get weird where Dwight shows up, fine. Yeah, well, have a great night listening to the radio on The Walking Dead. Well, let's see. What time is it? So Talking Dead will be will be starting in about 20 minutes. So people will finally be able to get some answers that are going to be the lamest answers ever. Like, why do an episode where nothing happens in a finale? Oh, I'm actually going to watch Talking Dead just so I can hear the lame shit that comes out of everyone's mouth about this episode. And I guess they're going to go, you can't win. Like, if this was a bigger episode and it still failed, people would complain, it's just, we're all going to complain, but whatever. But this was just, again, just very disappointing, and this isn't a finale. This isn't a mid-season finale. This could have been a premiere. This is a filler episode. This would have been a great episode for character development. Just not a finale. And what the hell was up with her whipping her arms? And who the hell was on the question all summer. They're gonna sorts of shit of this radio. This radio is gonna be freaking t-shirts and hats that all have the little crackling noises and stuff of who's on the other end. And they're gonna have that blasted on billboards and shit like that for like months until it comes back. And then we'll get a teaser trailer or something during Comic-Con, and then everybody will lose their collective shit again over something that just disappointed them immensely a couple of months before that. So, anyway, I'm going to stop the stream here because that's really all I have to say about it. I will be back because apparently I just like to torture myself with bad television sometimes. They were talking on the radio during the episode, Eddie. It was just no, but then no, somebody supposedly started talking at the very end of the episode, but you couldn't understand what was being said. Judith talked to the king for a second at the end of the episode, and that's all it was. So I'm already live, but I usually am going to be on Monday nights. I usually will be doing my live stream. Tomorrow I'm going to see an early screening of Shazam. So I will not be doing my Monday live stream. I was supposed to do it last week, and then I had C2E2. So it's like I'm trying to get this Monday live stream started, but so far it's only been working on Sundays. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that's popped in and popped out, and anybody that watches this in the future. Well, thanks a lot, Eddie. I would really appreciate getting subscribed to you. You can watch a lot of stuff on my channel. I always have new content coming out every day. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that's joined us here. Like I said, and you can catch all my content on Smirking Gun Reviews. And I will be getting 2 Monday live streams, but tomorrow night there will be a review late for Shazam as well. So, and it's going to have spoilers just to let everybody know, but not like until I tell you. So there will be a non-spoiler section and a spoiler section for Shazam when I come back tomorrow night. So everybody that's there, have a great night. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for promoting being here and helping me out with this. And we'll see you next time. See ya. Bye. I'll see you in season 10. Maybe the snow will have melted by then.